Children, now let's see the water pollution. So we have seen the air pollution. So because of these industries, because of the vehicles, then what about the water? Yes, water is also gets polluted because of the human activities, because of the animals, because of these dead bodies of plants and dead bodies of animals and human beings. And next one, industrial discharge or industrial effluents. Okay. So let's see how even the agricultural practices also, how this gets water pollution, how to solve this water pollution. Water is said to be polluted if it contains the impurities that are harmful to animals, plants and environment. So plants, animals and environment. Plants, animals and environment. Okay, so water is said to be polluted if it contains impurities that are harmful to animals, plants and environment. These impurities can be of two types. One is soluble. Soluble means that is mixed, and second one is insoluble. First one is soluble and second one is insoluble. So here, due to this insoluble and soluble impurities, okay, the water is getting polluted. Soluble impurities are salts and minerals. So soluble impurities are salts and minerals. And insoluble impurities are small stones. These are small stones, sand, mud. So soluble impurities are salts and minerals. Insoluble impurities are small stones, sand and mud. Now let us see the causes of water pollution. So children, see there are two causes mainly. Disposal of waste materials from homes and factories. Usually the waste materials, okay, from the home and the factories, they should not be thrown into the water. If we throw into the water, these are causing the pollution of the water. Second one, washing of chemical fertilizers and pesticides from the fields into the water bodies by rain or excess of irrigation. So first one is home and industrial waste. When they are disposed in the water gets polluted. Second one, I told you already, agricultural practices. Like if we use excess pesticides and insecticides like Endrin, Aldrin, all these, okay. So and these washing of the chemical fertilizers and pesticides from the fields, from the agricultural fields, they enter into the water bodies like the lakes, rivers, ponds and causing the pollution. Okay. Next one, removal of impurities from water. How can we remove these impurities? As we know that there are two, one is soluble and second one is insoluble. So soluble impurities are salts and minerals, insoluble impurities are small stones, sand and mud. How can we remove these soluble and insoluble impurities? So for this, let us see, polluted water may contain many, take page number 70, polluted water may contain many impurities like lead, mercury, sand, germs, bacteria, harmful gases. So this lead, mercury, sand, germs, bacteria, harmful gases are the impurities that, okay, that pollute the water. All harmful impurities and germs, what is germs children? Disease causing organisms, should be removed from water before drinking it. Otherwise, we will be affected. Okay, so here the cholera, if you take the example of cholera is caused by the bacteria and it transmits through water only, impure water only. So that is the reason it is best to drink the boiled water. So here once again I repeat, The polluted water may contain many impurities like lead, mercury, sand, germs, bacteria, and harmful gases. All harmful impurities and germs should be removed from water before drinking it. For that, we should use the following methods. So there are two. One is removal of soluble impurities. What are the soluble impurities? Salts and minerals. And second one is removal of insoluble impurities. So there are two methods for these. The first one, soluble impurities, and there are two methods for the second one, insoluble impurities. Okay. Good morning. Removal of soluble impurities. What is that, children? Removal of soluble impurities. You know that there are two types of impurities. One is soluble and second one is insoluble. What is soluble? Soluble impurities are those impurities which are soluble. That means the solute and solvent will be mixed. Whereas insoluble impurities are those impurities the solute and solvent will not mix. Then how to remove the soluble impurities and insoluble impurities? Let's see. So, removal of soluble impurities, there are two methods. One is evaporation. What is that, children? One is evaporation. Second one is distillation. One is evaporation. Second one is distillation. You know that when your mother boils water in the kitchen, okay, after some time you will be observing that there will be fumes from that vessel, and if you try to touch the vessel, it will be very hot. Yes or no? That means those fumes will be coming from the water. If you will retain or if you will left the water on the stove for so many hours, what happened after 2 or 3 hours? If you open the lid and see, you won't find water. Then where the water went? Yes, that is called as evaporation. The water will become vapor. Now the same evaporation we are going to, through this evaporation, we are going to remove the soluble impurities. Let's see. So it is a process to remove soluble impurities from water. So what is the process? So evaporation is a process. Okay, it will be helpful to remove soluble impurities. It will be helpful to remove soluble impurities, okay, from water. Soluble impurities from water. Soluble impurities from water. In this method, we heat the water solution mixed with soluble impurities like salt. So what we are going to do? So in this method, we are going to so here see, in this method we heat the water solution mixed with impurities, mixed with soluble impurities, soluble impurities. In this method we heat the water solution mixed with soluble impurities like salt. Example is salt. So water solution plus salt, what we are going to heat. We are going to heat the water solution plus soluble impurities like salt. After some time, water gets evaporated and impurities are left behind. So when we heat the water, as I told you just now about the water becomes vapor. Okay. So when you heat the water, inside the water, you know that salt is there. Okay. When you heat the water becomes vapor, the salt will be left behind. If you hold a plate on the top to escape steam, collected water on the plate will be pure. If you hold a plate on the top to escape steam, collected water on the plate will be pure. So what here the statement is telling that, so when you are going to heat the water, here see, this is a vessel, okay, this is a vessel, okay, right. So when you are going to, this is a vessel and this is the flame, and here water plus salt. Okay, so after heating for so many hours, this water will become vapor and only the salt will be left behind. If you want to get pure water, you just hold a plate on the top and see here. If you hold a plate on the top, water goes onto the plate and that water on the plate is called as pure water. Why? Because we have separated the water and the salt. The salt is there in the vessel, the water is there on the top. If you hold the plate on the top, the water gets struck to the top, and if you observe, that is a pure water. Understand? Now let's see. So there are two methods to separate soluble substances. One is evaporation. It is a process to remove soluble impurities. Soluble means which has get mixed in the water. Okay, in this method we heat the water solution mixed with the soluble impurities like salt. After some time, water gets evaporated and the soluble impurities like salt left behind. If you hold a plate on the top, the collected water on the plate will be pure. Understand? Okay. Children, now see the second one, distillation. As you see, in the evaporation is the process where the water is heated and the salt or water soluble impurities left behind. Now it is the second one. So this is the setup, children. So in this setup you have a round bottom flask. Here anti-bumping granules or boiling stones are there. This is the water, and fractionating column packed with beads. These are the beads, and this is the thermometer to detect the temperature. Okay, and this is the water in. See here, the water is in and this water is out, and this is called as condenser. And this is a conical flask, and this is around Bunsen burner to heat the flask. So once again here see the setup, the labeling: a round bottom flask, water, anti-bumping granules of the stones, and the water gets heated with the help of a flame, and the flames comes from Bunsen burner. And these are the fractionating column packed with the beads. This is a thermometer, the water is in and the water is out, condenser, and the conical flask. Now let's see here. In this process, contaminated water is heated in the flask. What do you mean by contaminated? Contaminated means the water with impurities. Water with impurities is called contaminated water. So here in this process, contaminated water is heated in the flask. This is a round bottom flask. After some time, water changes into steam and impurities are kept behind. So as you know that when this is heated, the water changes into steam. The water changes into steam. This steam passes through a condenser. So here the water will be passing through the condenser, and the water collected in the flask is pure. So here after heating the water, anyway the water goes up, okay, and this will be collected, okay, in the flask. The water collected in the flask is pure. Both the solute and solvent can be recovered using distillation method. What is solute, children? So in a solution, the solute is very less quantity, the solvent is in more quantity. So maximum number of the solutions, the solvent is water only. So if any impurity is there, that can be recovered. That solute and solvent can be recovered by distillation process. So such water is called as distilled water. So this water is called distilled water, and which is very pure. So such water can be used in medicines. Children, have you seen the distilled water? So that is very pure, and that is used in medicines, in car batteries also, in car batteries and science labs, as it is pure. So where it is used? It is used in medicines, car batteries, and in science labs. Medicines, car batteries, and in science lab this distilled water is used. Why? Because it is without any impurities or germs. What do you mean by germs? Microorganisms which cause the diseases. Distillation is the best method to get pure water. So in this method, once again see, we are going to heat the water in the flask. So the water gets mixed here, and this water can be separated by heating. Anyway, the steam will be passing through the condenser, and this is the pure water can be collected here, which is called as the distilled water. Both the solute and solvent can be separated by this method. and this distilled water is pure and it is used in car batteries, science labs and in medicines. Why? Because it is without any germs and impurities. Distillation is the best method to get pure water. So removal of soluble impurities can be obtained by two methods. One is evaporation, second one is distillation. Now let's go for removal of insoluble impurities. Okay. Children, so far we have seen one method, that is removal of soluble impurities. Now let's go for the second method, that is removal of insoluble impurities. What is that, children? Removal of insoluble impurities. So removal of insoluble impurities. So there are two methods to separate insoluble impurities. First one is sedimentation. What is the first one, children? Sedimentation. First one is sedimentation and first here see, and decantation. Sedimentation and decantation. So let's see, the second one is filtration. So first one is sedimentation and decantation, second one is filtration. Now let's see the first one. In this method, water with insoluble impurities is kept undisturbed for some time. Impurities settle down and the clean water comes up. This can be separated slowly by pouring out the clean water into another vessel as shown in the figure. The impurities are left behind. So you can see this figure, children. In this figure you can observe, so this sedimentation, you can observe this figure, okay, the sedimentation. Children, I told you just now about the sedimentation and decantation. So this is the apparatus showing the sedimentation and this is decantation. Let's see here, raw sludge. This is called as a raw sludge. Raw sludge means impurities with water. Now sludge settles, water is removed. So this is the blue color is water and the sludge settles, and finally the dried sludge. This is called as sedimentation. What is this, children? Sedimentation. In this the solid impurities are settled down and the water comes up and the water will be, clean water will be removed. And the same like decantation. Children, do you know how to prepare the coffee, filter coffee? So during filter coffee preparation, you know that the coffee powder with see here, see, that is a decantation. So the decoction, so that is called as decoction. Coffee powder plus the water is called as decoction. So that decoction will be squeezed with the cloth. With this will be squeezed with the cloth, and inside the cloth the solid particles, that is called as coffee powder, will be left out, and the decoction will be gone to the milk. Thus the coffee is prepared. So same thing here, when the solid particles are, you know that the weight of the solid particle is high when compared to the liquid. So the solid particle settles here and the liquid will be poured like this. This is called as decantation. So sedimentation and decantation. So once again I repeat, in this method water with insoluble impurities is kept undisturbed for some time. Undisturbed means without shaking or without disturbing. You should keep the water with insoluble impurities. Impurities settle down and the clean water comes up. This can be separated slowly by pouring out the clean water into another vessel. Clean water into another vessel. So the impurities are left behind. So this is how we can remove the insoluble impurities by first method, which is called as sedimentation and decantation. Now let's go for the second method, that is filtration. Okay. Now see the second one, removal of insoluble impurities was done by first method, sedimentation and decantation. Now this is called as filtration. In this filtration you have funnel, filter paper in the shape of cone, and this is filtrate. Separation of insoluble impurities with the help of filter paper or filtering medium is known as filtration. What is filtration, children? Separation of insoluble impurities, that means which are not soluble, like sand or anything, okay, that can be separated. So this is a common observation that when you are going for a pure water in the well, okay, if you keep a cloth on the vessel, which if you want to pour the water, okay, so the water will be, the pure water will be gone inside, and the sand or dirt will be stuck in the cloth. Same type here, the cloth, instead of cloth we have kept the filter paper. When you pour the impurities, we mix it with water, the impurities get stuck in the filter paper, and the clean water, which is called as the filtrate, goes down. So here, separation of insoluble impurities with the help of filter paper or filtering medium is known as filtration. For filtration, filter paper arranged in a cone shape is fitted to a glass funnel. So this is a glass, okay, it is fitted to a glass funnel, and this is a stand, okay, and this is this is the thing or the glass, okay, we can collect the filtrate. So here, on pouring the mixture into the funnel, water passes through the filter paper and insoluble impurities remain behind as residue. So the insoluble impurities remains here and the water goes down. This clear water is collected in the flask below the funnel. So below the funnel you can collect in the glass flask. So once again, see here, when you pour the water mixed with insoluble impurities, so the insoluble impurities as left as a residue in the filter paper, and the pure water goes down below the funnel, and this is fitted to a stand. This is how we can separate by the filtration method. So insoluble impurities can be separated by two methods. First one is sedimentation and decantation, second one is filtration. Now let's go for the purification of drinking water. Okay.